What if I told you that right now, as you watch this video, there's a 1 in 200 chance you carry the blood of history's most feared conqueror? Not metaphorically, literally, in your DNA. His name was Genghis Khan. And in the next 8 minutes, you're going to find out how a boy who was sold into slavery became the man who conquered more land than anyone in human history. In 1162, on the wild grasslands of Mongolia, a boy was born, clutching a blood clot in his tiny fist. His people called it an omen. His father named him Temujin. But when Temujin was just 9 years old, his father was poisoned by a rival tribe. Overnight, everything vanished. His family was abandoned on the frozen steppe, left to survive on berries and field mice. Then, things got worse. Temujin was captured by a neighboring clan and made to wear a heavy wooden collar. A slave. Most children would have broken forever. Temujin spent every waking hour planning his escape, and when the moment came, he ran. That collar, that humiliation, that hunger, it never left him. Over the next 2 decades, Temujin did something no one on the steppe had ever done. He united the Mongolian tribes, not by force alone, but by rewriting the rules of power. He abolished the old clan system. He promoted warriors based on skill, not family name. He shared loot equally among his men. To the sons of rival chieftains, these ideas were revolutionary. They flocked to him in the thousands. By 1206, every tribe in Mongolia knelt before him. At a great assembly on the sacred Onon River, they raised a white banner with 9 tails and gave him a new name, Genghis Khan, the universal ruler. He was 44 years old, and the world had absolutely no idea what was coming. Here is what made the Mongol army different from everything that came before it: speed, communication, and psychological terror. His cavalry could cover 80 miles in a single day, 3 times what European armies managed. They used a relay horse system to send messages thousands of miles in days. Before attacking any city, Genghis Khan always sent the same message: surrender now and your people will be spared. Resist and not one stone will stand upon another. Many cities surrendered without a single arrow being fired. The ones that didn't? The city of Urgench was so completely destroyed, it took over a century to recover. This wasn't just war, it was a system, and it worked. This is where the story gets complicated, because Genghis Khan wasn't only a destroyer. Once a region was conquered, he enforced remarkable stability. The Yam, a network of relay stations every 25 miles across the entire empire, allowed merchants to travel from China to Persia in complete safety. Trade exploded. Ideas and goods moved freely across Eurasia for the first time in history. Historians call this the Pax Mongolica, the Mongol Peace. Gunpowder traveled west, algebra moved east, and for 150 years, a merchant could travel from the Pacific Ocean to the Black Sea without being robbed. That's not nothing. That's extraordinary. But in 1258, Genghis Khan's grandson, Hulagu Khan, did something historians still mourn today. He sacked Baghdad, the intellectual capital of the medieval world. The Abbasid Caliphate, which had spent 500 years advancing human knowledge in science, medicine, and astronomy, was destroyed in 8 days. The Grand Library of Baghdad, containing hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, was thrown into the Tigris River. Eyewitnesses said the river ran black with ink, then red with blood. Genghis Khan's heirs didn't just conquer a city, they erased a civilization. The knowledge lost forever, the scholars killed or scattered, the ripple effects shaped human history in ways we're still measuring today. Which brings us back to that statistic I opened with. In 2003, geneticists published a study that shook the academic world. Approximately 16 million men alive today share a Y chromosome tracing back to a single man who lived in Mongolia around 1000 AD. The evidence points overwhelmingly to Genghis Khan. 16 million direct male descendants, more than the entire population of the Netherlands. It happened because in the Mongol world, a conqueror's children inherited his power, and power brought access. Over generations, one man's genes spread across the largest land empire in history. So, what do we make of Genghis Khan? Monster or visionary? Destroyer or connector? The honest answer is that he was all of it, simultaneously. A product of extraordinary violence who became more violent than anything his world had ever produced, and yet whose empire created the conditions for the first era of true global trade. History is rarely simple. The people who shape it rarely are either. If this video made you see the past differently, subscribe, because every week we dig into the stories that actually changed everything. Next week, the plague that killed half of Europe in 4 years and accidentally gave birth to the Renaissance. Don't miss it.